Hey everyone, welcome back to Grace Note Forge. So today I wanted to do a quick video on how to resize rings here in Blender for 3D printing. And I have a few different options that I'm going to go through to show how to do this, but it's going to be pretty similar for each one. So starting here with a class ring, first off, you're going to want to make sure that you're in millimeters for this. If you have the Jewelcraft add-on, it's just a button up top that you can hit. But I'm going to go ahead and size this ring down to a size 5. And to do that, I can pull up in the Jewelcraft this size curve and select that to 5. You can see that is 16 millimeters in diameter. And if you don't have the Jewelcraft add-on, you can just drop in a curved circle by hitting Shift-A and then typing in 8 for the radius, and then changing 90 degrees on the X. And you can see that's a little blocky, so if we go over into the curve properties, we can bump up the resolution here and make that nice and smooth. So we're gonna size this down to size 5. And really quick, I'm gonna take this out, put that in our scene, rename this to size 5. And I'm also going to drop one in for, let's do a size 8. And you can see we have this one sitting on the inside right now. Rename that one as well. All right, so we're going to change this to a size 5. And really the most important thing to keep in mind is where the detail is on the ring and where the stones are. The stones are going to be pretty important because you don't want to mess up how they're going to be set. With this one, it's right at the top, so it should be fine. But we are going to kind of shrink this down and try to keep it at the same size. I don't want to just scale the entire thing because it ends up changing the size of the stone, obviously. Instead, I want to kind of gradually bend this in from the bottom of the ring or the shank. So to do that, all you need to do is select the ring. I'm going to select the stone too, and I'm just going to move it to where the curve is right underneath the bottom of the ring. So I'm just going to line that up. And if you're having trouble seeing that, you can select the curve, and in the curve properties, if you go over to depth, you can just bump that up a little bit. It gives it a little bit of thickness, and you can see what you're doing a little better. So I'm gonna grab these again, G, and just move these down a little bit. And that's looking good. Now I can start kind of shrinking down this section. And before I do that, if I go into wireframe, you can see that this ring has been decimated. So you see all these little triangles that are different sizes. It's a lot finer down in the small details and like cracks of the ring. And before like deforming it in any way, you really want the mesh to be pretty even because moving those around when the mesh is uneven like that will introduce a lot of artifacts. So I'm just going to remesh this really quick. And to do that, I like to turn on the statistics so I can see how many vertices I'm at. I'm going to select that ring, go to generate and remesh. And at first it kind of gets rid of a lot of the detail, but if you just bump down the voxel size to something like 0.025, see what that looks like. Maybe a little bit smaller, 0.02. See, we're sitting at just under 4 million that should be just fine. So I'm going to apply that. Now if I go into X-ray, you can see mesh is really nice and dense. So with the ring selected, first I'm going to rename this one to size 5, and I'm going to duplicate this collection and do this one size 8. So hide size 8 for now, and we're just working with this one. With the ring selected, I'm going to hop into sculpt mode, and I'm going to use the elastic grab brush and just bump up the brush size by hitting F and then dragging up. And I want to make sure that I'm working on this symmetrically, so I'm going to turn on the X and Y. And then from front-facing view, I'm just going to click and drag sections of this and bring it in. Just doing a little at a time, making sure to pull towards the center of our axes. Making sure that white from the curve is just poking out, and that should be just fine. So that's looking pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and select this and move it out of the way for now. And then I'm going to change this to a size 8. So I'm going to unhide size 8 and basically do the same thing. Select both. I'm going to move this up on the Z axis. I'll make it to where I can see this one a little better. Bump that up a bit. And selecting both again, just going to move that down until it's right underneath the bottom of the head of the ring. So that's looking good. You can see we need to move this out because the curve is on the inside. So selecting the ring and going into sculpt mode again. Again, make sure the symmetry is turned on. I'm just going to start pulling that outward. And with this one, honestly, we don't need to worry about it deforming too much. We do have that detail on the outside of the shoulders and going down into the shank of the ring. But because this isn't a setting, it's more of just like a bas relief on both ends. It's okay if it's just a little bit askew. So just going through and making sure that's decently lined up. That looks pretty good. All right, so now we have a nice size 5 and a size 8. I'm going to select these and move them out of the way. For the next example, I have a engagement ring here, and this one is something that you need to be a little bit more cautious of. You can see we have some settings for these stones, and we really don't want to mess with these ones up top. And we are going to have to kind of alter some of these ones that are going down into the shoulder, but it shouldn't be too bad. So to start off, I'm going to do the same as before, duplicate this, rename to size 5, and size 8. Just working on size 5 right now. You can see I have separate objects for these stones. So just like before, the first step that we want to do is remesh this because this is a decimated object. So I'm going to select the ring, go over into my modifiers, and select remesh. You can see that gets rid of a lot of detail, but if I do 0.02 on the voxel size, that makes it nice and sharp again. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that, and then selecting the ring and the stones by shift selecting. Just going to zoom in and line up this right over top of the curve. That looks pretty good. Now you can see we do have to pull this in over by where the bottom of the stones are. That shouldn't be too big of an issue though. Because I want to move both, I'm going to go ahead and select the stones and then shift select the ring and then hit Control J to join them together. That just makes it to where if I go into sculpt mode, I can move both of these at the same time. So I can end up separating these later on, but for now, I'm just going to do the same as before and line this up to size it. So that looks pretty good right there. Go back into object mode. So I'm going to take this one. I'm actually going to hide my size 5. I do the same as before, move this up. And we'll start working on size 8. So just like before, quick remesh, 0.02. Go ahead and apply. I'm going to be moving both, so Control J, hopping into sculpt mode. See, I skipped a step. I'm going to move this up first on the Z plane until it's right underneath. There we go. Now I can start forming this. So go back into sculpt mode and start lining that up. Now with ones like this, you don't want to, obviously there is a little bit of a limit. I wouldn't want to go too big with something like this because you would really end up throwing off some of the settings for the stones. But you can get away with actually quite a bit. So I kind of like pulling past the ring a little bit and then refining after by going in. So just moving that in slightly. And that looks good. So now we have nice size 5 and size 8 for this one. I'm going to select both of these, move them out of the way again. And for the last one that I want to show is an eternity ring, which is a design that goes all the way around the band. And you're kind of locked into really only scaling this up and down for changing the size. You can lock the Y plane so that it doesn't change on the actual height of the ring. So if you hit S and then hit Shift Y, you can see the height of the ring isn't really changing, but the actual size is. And that can be pretty useful if you want to change the size of the ring on Eternals like this. But there's one other method that I also want to show. So oftentimes with ring bands like this, you might need to adjust the actual thickness of the ring and not just the size itself. You can see Right now, it's actually a little bit thin. If I remember, this is, yeah, just under 1.5 millimeters. So I definitely want to bump that up. I'm going to be shooting for this size 5 here, but I want it to be a little closer to 2 millimeters. So something like that. And we can do that. The trick is to actually use a lattice modifier. So I'm going to go ahead and scale this up. Shift Y, and I'm going to bring it up to our mark, just kind of eyeballing where that is. And then in the new version of Blender, you can do a lattice for an object by just selecting it, then hitting Shift A, going down to lattice and do lattice deform selected. Now if we go over into our lattice properties, I'm going to bump this down to 1 on the Y plane, but I'm going to increase the resolution to 10 for both of these ones to give us a nice grid to work with. And now with the lattice selected, if I go into edit mode, you can see if I just select this inside box here in the center, I can scale this, and with my proportional editing turned on up here, make sure that is selected. You can scale it and then adjust the mouse wheel to change the influence of how it's affecting the neighboring vertices. So I'm just going to go back and forth kind of with my mouse wheel and how far I'm pulling this in until it goes pretty close. I'm actually going to back out and try that again. Something like that looks pretty good. Now you can see it doesn't really do it evenly because the lattice is obviously square shaped and we're deforming a circular shaped object. But we can go ahead and correct that on these areas that need to go out a little bit more. So I'm going to select just these ones and then scale them in the opposite direction. And if I bump the proportional editing down a little bit, you can see I can change the level that it affects and then just line up those sections as well. And that looks pretty good. Now you can see if I go in with the measure tool again, this is sitting a little bit thicker, which is what I was going for. So that is pretty useful. I've used that a couple of times for rings like this that I've needed to change the thickness of. You can go ahead and duplicate this one up just for symmetry. But most of the time you're just going to be scaling these down as a whole. So I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to leave those down in the comments. If you have any tips yourself for scaling and working with rings, I'd love to hear them as well. But that's it for today. So as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.